I want to talk about a phenomenon that happens with customers. Now, these aren't bad customers. Like, I've told stories about the really bad ones that are just horrible people, the Karens, the people that'll yell at you for no reason or cry for no reason. Now, these are the people you go up to and you ask if they need help with something, and this happens a lot, and they get the what I call this phenomenon is medical mouth. You go up to the customer and say, "Hey, do you need help with anything today?" "Well, no, I'm not doing too well. I got fungus on my foot. My hands stopped working. My daughter's sick. She's got cancer in all four of her ovaries. And my son, his leg caught on fire the other morning. I didn't know what was going on with it. And then my grandson, he ate a bat, so he's got rabies. He's having to get those shots." And they say all this just matter of factly, and you're just standing there. "Well, I didn't ask any of this. I didn't want to know any of this. I just wanted to know if you needed help." But they take it to mean they should tell you all about all their medical problems. Because I've had people, "Oh, what can I help you with today? You doing all right today?" That's the wrong thing to ask people. Because that just means that gives them license to overshare. "I found out I'm pregnant, even though I'm 52 and not supposed to be pregnant. I don't know who the daddy is, and I've got grandkids that are going to be older than my kid I'm about to have, and I just don't know what to do." And I'll just be thinking, all I want to do is help you with the issue you came in for. I can't help you with your personal problems. And other people they just want to talk. They are not there. They might need something, but they want friends. Because there was a lady who would come in and she would live in our offices at one of the banks I was at. Just absolutely camp out there. And when we knew she was coming in, some of us would make a concerted effort to go to the bathroom just to make sure someone else would have to wait on her. Because she would do the thing where you'd help her with something, and then she'd want to tell a story about her pet snake that her son got when he went into the Marines, and it's still alive and she still has it, or she wants to tell you about the motorcycle wreck. And the woman would not leave. Absolutely would not. You'd get done with what you needed, and she'd keep talking, and then she'd stand up in front of the chair, and she'd talk some more, and she'd talk, and she'd talk, and she'd talk, and she'd talk, and then she'd get a little bit closer to the door, and you'd have somebody else waiting, but I was always too polite to tell her, "Ma'am, I got other people waiting." I don't know why I didn't tell her that, but I just never really had the nerve. But she's slowly working her way towards the door. Finally, after she tells the motorcycle story I've heard several times now, she makes it to the door and looks like she's about to leave. She turns back around and wants to talk about something else. She gets out the door several times, but walks back in and wants to talk. Not noticing that there's a lobby full of people waiting to talk to one of us, and they're too nice to say anything to her either. So she just wanted to be friends. And there was another man, his stories were actually interesting, but he was another one that wouldn't leave. He used to sing and travel as a singer back in, I guess, the 50s and 60s. He actually traveled with some pretty famous singers. The names escape me. But he had all those stories, and he had no money. None. But he didn't have anything to do, and he wanted friends. So he was another one that would hang out and want to talk to you to death. Especially even if you just asked him a simple question. His favorite thing to do, though, this is pretty funny, is Jerry Lewis was still alive. Jerry Lee Lewis, I should say. The one that married his cousin and lived in Mississippi. He said at least once a week he would drive down and troll Jerry Lee Lewis because they knew each other growing up. He'd drive by his house laying on the horn just to annoy him. So that was pretty good. And other people, you ask them and they want to tell you about the tragedy that happened. Their husband just died, and I get that that's rough stuff, and I don't want other people to have to deal with it. It's just you're putting that on people that work in retail. You're oversharing. You're telling them stuff that they don't want to know. They don't need to know, because some people get into gory details about stuff. Nobody wants to hear about that carbuncle you had on your foot that bled so much pus. It's not a good thing. But that medical mouth's a real thing. If you work somewhere, you have probably dealt with it. If you ask someone something and they all of a sudden start telling you that is my name for it, and hopefully it sticks.